Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Legends of Tomorrow Season 3. And this is my trailer breakdown for episode 15 of this season, otherwise entitled Necromancing the Stone. But of course, before we get into anything else, let's actually watch that trailer.
The Death Totem chose you.
Pick up the totems. Whoever did this is still on the ship.
Sarah succumbed to the demon Malice.
Sarah?
DC's Legends of Tomorrow. All new episode Monday at 8, 7 Central on the CW.
So last episode was a really big episode in regards to pushing this season forward just because of one thing, and that was the Death Totem. The Death Totem is just going to be the big boy of this season, you would think, even just by the sound of it, Death Totem. It sounds like it's pretty epic. Of course, last episode we found the Death Totem in the possession of Elvis Presley with his guitar, which in turn led him to connect to his dead twin brother to produce the music he was doing. But along with last episode, even though we had a lot of push forward for this season, we had a sad moment in the death of Axel the Rat. I'm still grieving, I think a lot of us are, so RIP or rest in peace, Axel the Rat, you will not be forgotten. But of course, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis or description for this episode, which does give us a better idea as to what's going on. But of course, before that, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode, what you think looks the coolest, as well as being sure to drop a like on the video if you're going to enjoy it, and subscribing to the channel if you're new. When Malice's power over Sarah resurfaces, she unwittingly becomes the bearer of one of the totems. Rory must conquer his dark side in order to wield his own totem power to help save the crew. Meanwhile, Agent Sharp notices that something is wrong and recruits someone unorthodox to help. So to start the trailer, we do see Sarah drawn to the totem. You would think it's her inner self that is telling her to do it, which it sort of is because it's Malice that's taken over her again, as the synopsis does suggest, or say straight to us. So Malice is in her head saying, go to the totem, Sarah, go to the totem, you want to wear it. So it does look like that she is the true bearer of the totem, which seems a bit weird. You think that might be to Damien Dark, who would be the true bearer of the Death Totem. He might be the true bearer of another totem. We'll have to wait and see. But really, if you think about it, it shouldn't be too surprising. I mean, if you've watched Arrow along with Legends, how many times has Sarah Lance died in the Arrowverse? Whether it be quickly or for a decent period of time that she's brought back to life. How many times? I think it's 3 or 4. It could be even more. Let me know how many it is if you know the exact amount. But she's died a few times. So I think if you're going to pick anyone on this cast who should be the bearer of the Death Totem, I think she should be the number 1 pick. Now we do see Ray absolutely beaten to hell in his lab. So he's near death. And I guess the big question is, who did it? Was it Sarah? Well, you'd have to think so, because remember back to the end of episode 10, I think it was, that Constantine was last in, and he told Ray to kill Sarah if she ever got possessed by Malice again. So what I'm thinking happens here is that Ray encounters Sarah. She looks freaky, freaked out, as the Death Witch, which we'll talk about, later on in the trailer. And Ray's well, my time to kill Sarah because she's controlled by Malice again. And unfortunately for Ray, Sarah obviously gets the better of him. Now, I think we even see the gun that Ray would have used against Sarah lying on the floor smoking. So maybe Ray got a shot off at her, or maybe Sarah used it on him. Maybe not that far. That'd be a bit too far, I think. But anyway, it looks like this is why Ray's beaten to hell, because Constantine told him to kill Sarah. He's attempted to kill Sarah when she's possessed, and unfortunately he hasn't been able to do that. Now, as I was just saying, Constantine told Ray the last time he was on Legends to kill Sarah if she ever got possessed by Malice again. Well, I guess who's back for this episode to most likely help with the issue of Sarah being controlled by Malice? Yep, that's right, John Constantine is back for this episode. He will be on the Waverider at some point in this episode, in the trailer and even in the promo images. I think we only just see him in his little area where we see Gary, our favourite Time Bureau agent, as well as Ava Sharp approaching him and talking to him. And when they talk about the synopsis about Agent Sharp noticing that something is wrong and recruiting someone unorthodox, this is most likely Constantine. It could be someone else who we talk about at the end of the episode, and at the end of this trailer, might I say, but you would have to think it's Constantine. But we know he will be on the Waverider thanks to some behind-the-scenes photos from the cast when they were filming this episode. Now, Constantine was mentioned last episode, which was episode 14, as he was the one who gave the information to Sarah on this new totem that they discovered, which was, of course, the Death Totem. So I'm guessing in this episode we'll learn more and more about the Death Totem, maybe its history, who else has possessed it, and stuff like that. But it's going to be interesting to find out more about it because, when they found it was just this totem, but the more they learn about the Death Totem, we find out that whoever, possesses it has dominion over the dead. Dominion, as I explained in my review yesterday, just basically means control, dominating, dominion. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to learn more about the Death Totem and seeing its powers in use. I thought this part of the trailer was pretty funny, and that is just Sarah with a deadly fidget spinner. I just thought that was random. I wonder if she's going to use it on someone, spin it and then throw it. You think she would, but it's pretty funny that she has like this deadly like ninja star fidget spinner. Pretty funny. Now we do see Amaya, or Vixen, and Mick approaching Sarah. So one big question is whether this is actually in the Hellscape, possibly. You know, that's where like Malice is captured. We've seen like Amaya and Zari go there, and then obviously Sarah was there in episode 9, I think it was. We know Amaya is obviously connected to her totem, the spirit totem, and the synopsis also says that Mick will have to conquer his dark side in order to control his totem, which we know going forward will be the fire totem which Ray possesses. So this could be where they are, like the Hellscape is formed into just a thing of the Waverider. We did see Sarah walking through the Waverider at the beginning of the trailer with like fog on the ground, like the Hellscape has. So maybe the Hellscape has just like transformed itself to look like the Waverider, and then we see Amaya and Mick go in there to sort of get Sarah out of what's going on with her. But then I guess you could bring up the question as to why does Mick have his heat gun? Maybe that's because he hasn't fully learned to like use his totem properly. So he's like, well, I'll bring my backup, which is my heat gun. Because as we know, when like we saw like people with their totems and stuff, they have to learn how to use them properly. So you think Mick would have to go through the same process. But I guess we'll just have to watch and find out, I guess, to find everything out. So as I did say before, Sarah is the Death Witch. That is her, being or role or what do you want to call it for this episode. Like when she is, in possession or using the Death Totem, in this case, she is the Death Witch. I guess the best way to look at it is just think of her as a more like powerful version of that woman from the Blackbeard episode that was taken over by the Earth Totem. I did find it pretty cool that she wears a totem around her neck like the canary cry, like the canary device of like a laurel. That's what she wore. I think even Dinah Drake uses one as well. Obviously, Sarah was a canary at one point before becoming the white canary. So I think that's a pretty good nod, and I think that's exactly what they're going for. Now, the last thing to talk about in this video or trailer breakdown that actually isn't in the trailer or any of the promo images or even the synopsis, and that is that Jesse Quick will be in this episode as well. So one of the big pulling points of this episode when they announced it a couple of weeks ago was that Jesse and Constantine would be appearing in this episode. Obviously, Constantine is all over this trailer and the promo images, but there's no Jesse. So because of that, it does seem like it might be a small cameo by the sounds of it with Jesse, but it could be a larger role, who knows. As I said, there is no hint at her in the trailer or the synopsis, but obviously you'd expect her to just show up randomly because of that, so it could be at the beginning, at the end. I wonder what her role will be. Is it just to talk to Wally? Who knows? But obviously if you watch The Flash, which you would most likely do if you watch Legends, I wouldn't expect anything with Jesse's appearance on Legends to do with The Flash. That she's coming like to tell Wally like, oh, this stuff happened on The Flash, I'm here to tell you. I think it's just more between Jesse and Wally and their relationship going forward and what's happening there. I think that's basically what her appearance on this episode is for, but once again, we'll have to wait and see. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.